Hit it. Oh, how you feel, brother?
Feeling good.
You feel good?
Feeling good. It's groovy.
Play so much bone, brother. How you feel, man?
I feel all right.
I call your name. I don't want no people to know you're in here. How you feel, fella? Hey, Jam! Sure getting down. Gotta take you higher. Ow! All right. You wanna do it again? You wanna do it again, huh?
Yeah, let's go on back.
Gotta take you higher.
Power Lunch with Sharita J. If we could get more people to collaborate with our nonprofits, we could be bringing a lot more programs back to our schools. Because there's grants where there's been a music program or an arts program or fine language program cut. There's grants where individuals could bring those programs into the schools and collaborate. So that's why I never shut up about this. C360. That stands for Collaborative 360, and that's where we've launched a program where we are identifying the grant funders and writing the grants for our affiliates. That can even be you if you're not already a part of C360. And you know, Kim, again, I'm always touching on where there's grants. Even when you're doing your show, because you're touching on self-esteem, leadership skills, fighting obesity or whatever, you could be taking that into schools and grants could cover it when you do that. There's Pick With You with O. You did something on the O Network.
I did a game show on the Oprah Winfrey Network. I was a co-host of a show called Are You Normal America? And by the way, we are not normal.
You got that entire experience. I mean, how many people can say that?
It was great. And you can feel her energy. She has a power, a beautiful, quiet power that is actually, rooted in this and how much she gives. It helps people to live again, hope again, and dream again.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that. Thank you, Jean.
Speak myself and Rita here. You want to get your charity to full tank? Man, does this woman deliver. She gets your charity to full tank.
Wow. Wow. Okay. I always talk to people about operating in their passion. And if you're in your passion every day, how much more rewarding that's going to be and easier for you to wake up, even on days when it's not easy. Again, this is Sharita J, and I am happy to be bringing you our show. Hi, this is Sharita, and I'm so glad that you guys are joining me today. I have a really great group that's here from Lubbock, Texas. It's a large group, a matter of fact, and we're going to find out how many of them are visiting here from Los Angeles and how long that they are going to be here. But before I bring on my guests, I want to talk about, remember, if you have not started receiving the grants that we send out weekly, remember, we send out grant information because we get a lot of calls with you guys having all kinds of questions, and so let us help you with that. Go to my website at kifoundation.org. Excuse me. That's kifoundation.org, and click on the tab that says free grant info. I'm also being sponsored by this is the best drink. You know what? I normally do not drink the high energy drinks, the other one. This one has the very best taste, and I truly drink it. And they have a lot of great flavors. So if you're wanting to really get some energy that tastes good, no aftertaste, I've got Pit Bull. You can get it at your local stores. That is my sponsor for the show. Now, also, again, we also, I talked about it the last show, we have workshops coming up, grant writing, board development, nonprofit development. Most people do not realize what you're missing out on by not jumping into the nonprofit arena. Did you know that the NFL is a nonprofit? Though they make over $200 billion just off the Super Bowl. Did you know that the Hockey League and the PGA are all nonprofits? Did you know that credit unions and hospitals are nonprofits? Did you know that even if you have a restaurant, you can have a nonprofit component? Stay connected to us. Go to our website at kifoundation.org, sign up for the free grant info, and you will get all the information that we send out, and also by tuning in every Wednesday to Sharita J here at Drive Time. Now, let me get to my very special guest. They are here from Lubbock, Texas. It's the Monterey Teen Ministry, MTM. And I'm going to first let them go around the room and introduce who they are so that you can find out just the greatness that we have here with their coordinators and our teens. So let's get going. Tell us who you are.
All right. My name is Aaron Dawson. I don't know how great we are, but we're from Lubbock, Texas, as you said. I've been at Monterey 10 years, and this is something we do every summer, I think for the last 9 or 10 years, come and visit Los Angeles and just collaborate with different ministries and community organizations that we've met down here.
Good, good, good.
Sure. My name is Eric Opton, and I've been in youth ministry for about 20 years, and we've been coming out here, like I said, about 10 to 12 years, and we bring a group every summer. We work with a lot of different people, and there's some great ones sitting next to us, so it might be good to let them introduce themselves.
And all of these are
So we got-
teens. They're in high
they're-
school.
They're all in high school. Several of these graduated this year, so they'll be headed to college this year, but they've been in our group the entire time. Some have been here 5 years, and some have been here. Aspen, it's her first time to come.
Yes.
And some of the others have been here 2 or 4 times. So these guys are veterans except for Aspen.
Well, we're going to go around the room and find out who they are, but I just want to first applaud you because when you have individuals or young people that stay with the program, this is their second year, third year, fifth year, that shows that you're doing something right. And you have greatness in you, right? And so let's hear why you're here. What grade are you in? And tell us what you like about the program.
Okay, my name is Aspen Frederick. I'm 17 years old, and I just recently graduated high school. Over the past couple of years, being a part of Monterey Teen Ministry, I've really found a passion in working with kids. And like we've done multiple ministries and stuff in Lubbock, but I look forward to working with kids in the future. So I'm going to be going to college pretty soon here, and I plan to major in child and family studies with a minor in children's ministry.
Outstanding, outstanding. And next over there in the beige and orange hat, the blue shirt. What's your name?
All right, well, my name is Cade Collins. I just am becoming a senior this school year, and I am 17 years old at Friendship High School. And, I just came back a couple years ago to Monterey Teen Ministry, and it's not a youth group that focuses solely on cramming religion down your throat. We focus a lot on family and building relationships with each other, and we come out here to love, and that's what we're doing.
All right. And next to you.
Hi, my name is Joe Hicks, and I'm going to be a senior like Cade. I go to the same high school as him as well. And I guess I've been coming to Monterey since I was in 3rd grade, since like Sunday school, and I was super excited as soon as I hit 6th grade and I was able to come to the youth group because it's just such a different experience than what I'm used to. There's such a community and love, and it's just really exciting to be there. And what LA means for me is just bringing heaven down to earth, just for everyone around us, with kids, with people on Venice, with people on Skid Row, regardless of who it is, just bringing heaven to earth.
Yeah. Well, that's a great way of saying it, and to say it in that way, and young people, I think, would hear that and not feel intimidated, and have something to look forward to. I know that there's a young man that had not been going to church, and he became part of a group, and he said that he finally felt like he had a purpose, where before he kind of felt like he didn't fit into a lot of the clubs and things that they had at the school. So I'd imagine that you guys as young people feel that way also. Well, right next to you.
Hi, my name is Reagan Branch. I just graduated from high school at the same school as these two. And I'm planning on going to Abilene Christian next year to study children's and youth ministry also. So why I'm kind of like these two. I've grown up in the church and I've always kind of been around religion, but the reason that I come here specifically is because it gives you an opportunity to see God in the people that aren't necessarily in the most ideal situations, but they find a way to find joy and find God in their everyday life, and I think that's just absolutely amazing. I just love to surround myself with that people here and back at home also. So.
Outstanding. And so you guys, again, you've been coming to Los Angeles for a number of years. What made you decide on Los Angeles, and what are some of the things that you do when you come?
I'm trying to think of what made us decide on Los Angeles.
Well, for one, because it's a fun place to come to. You can't beat the weather, right?
It's a great place to come to.
And the beach.
There are just lots of opportunities
here.
There's lots of opportunities here to just join in what God's already doing. And we heard about some opportunities to work with different places the first time we came out, and had been praying about it, and just felt like God was leading us to come here for some specific ministries. that we joined at first, and so that's part of it.
Yes, and you guys, you usually come to downtown LA, go to Skid Row, and meet up with organizations that are busy changing lives down there, correct? What are some of the organizations? Now, my son just came in, Crucial, and he has his program, Life Is, and I know that he's been working with a lot of organizations downtown. And so you guys have been affiliated with Crucial for what, about 3 years now?
Yeah. It's actually been 5 years now.
Yeah?
Been,
It's warm in here. Are you guys warm, or is it just me?
It's a little maybe you.
So 5 years, and I know we were talking about LA, but first I want to kind of jump around. When you're back in Lubbock, what are some of the things that you do that keeps the kids connected? I mean, that makes them want to go from 6th grade and now get into the program. What are some of the things that you do?
I think that'd be a great question for these guys to
Let's
answer.
hear it. Let's hear it.
We've got one more, Alex, over there that you may not be.
Oh, Alex. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
And I did know you were there, too. Alex, tell us who you are, what grade you're in, and all of that.
I'm Alex Coleman. I'm 18 years old. I just graduated from South Lake Carroll. I moved to South Lake 3 years ago, but I love this youth group so much that I come back a lot. I am going to Abilene Christian with her. She's my best friend. And I plan on majoring in nursing, so not ministry or anything, but I just love LA so much, and I love my youth group so much, so I come back. I wasn't able to go last year, but this is my 3rd year, and there's just something about LA. It's like every time I come, it's like, it breaks my heart a little sometimes, but it's so awesome to come here and just share the love, and a lot of people have just never heard of Jesus, and just 1 second you get to mention them, and so I feel like that can stick with them for a long time, and I just love coming here. So
Well, good. Wait, I don't know if they're seeing me on camera. My grandkids are here in the room too, and so I'm being a grandmother telling them to stop it over there with the chair. You know, the other thing that I'm really proud of you guys about is so often when young people come to LA, the purpose is different. Young people, and you guys, just in hearing what you're doing, I've been looking at all your pictures on Facebook, and I don't know if he's going to be able to show that later. But you're at the beach, you're being kids, you're being young people like you do, but you're not forgetting your focus, and I'm really proud of you about that. The other thing that I want to mention, a lot of people listen to the show because I'm always talking about whoever is on the air. How do they get grants for what they do? How do you get funding to continue to do what you do? And if you're just, for those of you that are listening and you're at your computer, obviously, you can just type in, I always search in Google. If you just type in Google, go into Google and do a search, type in grants, religion, youth. There's funding just to help young people stay focused as far as learning about their particular religions. As long as you are not forcing them to go to your church, but you're talking about God and spirituality and teaching even the different kinds of religions, there's funding for that. But then also, because of what you produce, leadership skills, improved communication skills, higher education, there's so much funding for that. So I don't know if you guys are looking at all of that various funding, but you got to start. Now, when you guys come to LA, is it a fundraiser to get you here?
Part of it is the kids paid to come. All these guys paid, to come, and then our church as a whole supports it as well. And then we do this kind of fun thing where we sell stock in our trip to some grandparents and people like that, and friends and neighbors, but also people in the church, and so people buy stock, because a lot of times you have fundraisers where you sell candy bars for $5 or something like that, and so people get all the stuff they don't want, and so we started selling stock in our trip, and so after our trip we'll go home and we'll do a shareholders meeting, and we'll share kind of the results of the trip with those who invested in it. So we have a shareholders meeting, we'll have coffee and desserts and share the results.
Wow. And then now you're out of the program. Well, you graduated out, but you're coming back and being involved.
Yeah.
And so when you come back into the program, are you like a youth coordinator or a mentor, or what is?
Right now, because she's still in high school, she would what?
What?
She just comes and she's just a part of it. She's
Okay.
like,
Yeah, I'm not going to be an intern or anything, but I still I still keep connected with these guys.
So when you graduate and go to college, if you come back, do you come back as a counselor or a youth mentor or
We use a lot of interns who are, most of them have been students in our group at some point or another. They'll come back and be interns, and some are going to go into ministry later, and some are going to do other things, but they come back and work with us typically during the summer, and we have some during the school year as well who come back and work with us who are our youth interns, and we have 5 right now, so they come back, and they've, with the exception of one, they were all in our youth group.
Okay. The reason I'm asking too, because I keep wanting to guide you to funding, the Carlson Family Foundation, if you, for instance, for those that leave the program because they graduated, and if they come back and it's for the summer, they can be your teen leaders or youth mentors or whatever, but there's funding that instead of them even getting a job somewhere else, now they can be paid to be working within the program. And that keeps them coming back as far as showing deliverables that the program must be working, but also then they can stay involved and not work anywhere else. So like the Carson Family Foundation is one of those that could fund that. Now, when you're not in LA, some of the other programs, some of the other things that you do in Lubbock, what are some of your activities?
Why don't you guys share about maybe like Same Light or something like that? Because that's really related.
Because your website looks really great. I mean, I kind of went and did some research, and so tell me about some of the things that you're doing.
Yes, of course. About 3 or 4 years ago, a group of teens, not including myself, I kind of joined in later, but they kind of came together and they started a ministry completely on their own out of really nothing, and they it's a little trailer park ministry that we do in Lubbock, Texas. It's a weekly thing every Tuesday, and I mean, everyone here is involved, and it's just something that's really changed our lives, you know. We go out there, we hang out with the kids, we teach them, we have a Bible story every week, we have a craft, and we play games, and they've really become our family.
Yes.
And I mean, those kids come to us, and ever since we've been going to this trailer park and doing this ministry, we've had so many great responses, and how that little trailer park went from so much, you know, like, the reason they started there was because they didn't see the light of Jesus, and then now the adults in the community have their own Bible studies, and they go to different churches. And there's been an amazing result from that, and the kids are just amazing, so that's something we really love to do.
And you know, another thing that I really appreciate, you guys look just like regular kids. And the reason I'm saying that is oftentimes when you have kids that aren't in church, they picture kids that love God or that are in church that they are all in suits and dressed up and not looking like them. They don't picture them as regular kids. I don't know if you guys experience that, but sometimes that's what I have received. I grew up as a preacher's child. And so they always, you're a PK, you don't look like a PK. But what is a PK, a preacher's kid, supposed to look like? What is a young person that loves God and wants to honor what the Bible says? What do they look like? And they look like you. And so I think that one of the things that probably work also is that they can relate to you, you know, unless you start talking about God and how you feel about your church and what you're doing, they just see regular kids. And I like that too. And when I've been looking at the pictures, you just regular kids that are just trying to do the right thing. Okay? Tell me something else that you're doing.
There are several organizations that run through our church, and one of those is Foster Parents Night Out, and that gives foster parents the ability to take their children to our church to be watched for the night, so they can have a night to go out and have like maybe a date night, or maybe just go get groceries too, because it's when you have like 5 or 6 kids, it's kind of difficult too. But one thing I didn't realize was for foster parents, like, they can't just go out and find a babysitter to watch their children. They have to be specially certified, so it's very difficult for them to like have somebody to watch over them. And so but we kind of, one of the things, you can have people watch it if it's through the church, so that's one of the things that I really enjoy watching out for those kids, and it fills up really fast. We found a really big need for foster parents that way. And then there's also Fiesta Friday, which that's kind of the same thing, but for the special needs kids in our community, and that's amazing. We always watch movies or have a game night, and it's just really fun. And that isn't so much younger kids, but it's more older people, and it's so great because, I mean, it's just kind of, that's a night out for them as well as the people that are watching out for them, so that's really amazing too.
So now the Fiesta Friday, that's for which population?
This people with special needs. Community.
Okay,
So, yeah.
okay.
And it's not strictly our church. Either one of those aren't strictly our church. It's just people all from Lubbock that come and have that need to be filled.
That's excellent. The reason, when you were talking about the foster youth, one of the things that I thought about, for one, my niece, I got her out of foster care. But we work with a lot of organizations that deal with foster youth. And statistics show that unless they're given some kind of positive structuring outside of the foster care, within 6 months, they're either on drugs, in jail, or pregnant if it's a girl. Unless they're exposed to more structured environment that takes their interests and gives them more hope for some other things to do. Because what they're finding is that when they're aging out, not to say that all foster facilities are bad, but many of them, because of the number of kids and the real reasoning behind maybe why they're doing it, the foster kids are not being taught life skills and being taken into areas that really give them areas of their passion. And so I'm really glad to hear that you guys are doing that. And there's a grant for that. With you guys working with foster youth, do you know how much funding there is just to be getting dollars that to advance your program? And then your Fiesta Friday, because you're working with those that are disabled, there's major funding for that. And so maybe I can talk to you guys more extensively about the funding that's available for you. And now, what about seniors? Are you guys doing anything with seniors?
Senior adults?
Senior adults, not seniors in high school. Aging, the aging. And the reason I'm asking is because what they're finding, everything I'm talking about, of course I'm saying there's a grant for that. They're finding that there are so many young grandparents, like I'm a grandmother, and a lot of the grandparents now don't want their grandkids calling them Big Mama or Papa or Grandma or Grandpa or whatever. They're out skating and playing tennis and doing their thing too, so they're not baking and sitting on the porch telling stories and a lot of the things that I grew up with my grandparents. And what they're finding is that young people are missing out a lot on that interaction that happens with young people and seniors. And so that's why you're seeing a lot of the universities that they're requiring that young people have some kind of community service that they show on their application to show that they've been dealing with seniors or something, right? And so there's dollars to bridge the gap between seniors and young people, even if you put on a concert for them, or on Saturdays they come and they, with you guys working with foster youth, maybe you have some retired seniors that are retired teachers that want to read to them or whatever. If you start bridging that gap and working with seniors, there's additional funding. The other reason is because seniors are living 25% longer, but they're one of the fastest growing suicide rate, loneliness, depression. And so if you have programs that can start bringing them back out into the community and interacting with young people like yourselves, what they're finding is it instead of it getting on their nerves, is bringing down their blood pressure, is helping them with their loneliness and depression, and they start looking at you as like surrogate grandkids, okay? Because many of these seniors also, their grandkids live in other states, and they might only interact via Skype. So they need that face-to-face. So just an idea to start reaching out to the seniors that are at your church or that are at some of the facilities, okay? Anything else? Anything else exciting that has happened recently?
Well, at the ministry that we do called Same Light, like what Aspen was talking about, basically what it is, like she already said, is like it's like a VBS year-round kind of for kids and families that live in like a
What is
trailer
VBS?
home. Vacation Bible School. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like instead of just on a vacation for like a week, like what we do in LA, it's like year-round. So like we do it through the whole year. And so that's what we do at Same Light. And something that's exciting to happen is normally we've been having to like rent out certain trailers in the trailer park to get space for when it's cold or
Yes.
just for storage and whatnot. But recently we just were able to get our own trailer. So that was something that we were all excited about.
Great.
We painted it the other day, and we're going to do some more renovations on the inside. But we're just really excited about that, just to see how the ministry has grown.
Okay, so the trailer that you got, is it at the property of the church or is it there at the trailer park?
It's at the trailer park.
Good, good. So you have a facility right there, which is excellent because, again, oftentimes kids do not get involved because they figure, oh, they're just here now and they'll be gone. Because you've got a facility there, they see the consistency and it gives them something to look forward to. I didn't even do my own housekeeping. That's my phone starting to ring. And so already, and all the things I'm talking about, you guys, those are steps that grant funders would look at. The fact that you now have a facility there on site, the fact that you have returning grads and you've got young people that look forward to coming into the program, you're working with foster youth, you have a program bringing in the disabled. I mean, you guys have a pilot that many churches would want to mimic. And one of the things that, if you don't have it already, that I would suggest is to start a manual on how do you start these kinds of programs. Do you know that you could have a training manual showing how to do these kinds of programs? What is the interaction? What kind of forms do you have? And churches and programs could be buying it from you across the country. It would be a major fundraiser also for your organization, because you guys have that consistency and the brain power that could start, well, that wording's not right, and no, remember when we did this? And so by having that manual, that would help to other people to start the same kind of program. And of course, grant funders look for programs that can be duplicated in other areas. And so now we have also some collaborations in Detroit, Michigan. And I don't know if you guys might want to consider doing something like on a Christmas vacation and going and being in the snow, you know. But again, there's programs that's wanting to start all over the United States. And ever since General Motors laid off in Flint, Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, they're needing more programs to come and help do some inner city work and help people get programs going. And so that's something else that we can talk about too. So anything else that you'd like to tell us? Or any brothers and sisters part of the program?
My brother is how old? He's going to be a junior this next year.
Yes.
And he's also been very involved. And being in the same youth group, we have the same friends. So that's been really good for us because we're closer than average siblings. He's one of my very, very best friends. So I think that's one major benefit that has come from this youth group is getting to grow closer to my brother than I would just
Well, you know,
home.
and that's what I was going to ask, because oftentimes siblings have totally separate conversations. But when you're involved in some of the same activities, then you have a language and things that you discuss that the other siblings just aren't a part of, but it will give them something to look forward to. So I was wondering what that felt like to be involved in the same activity. Because when I was growing up, I was almost 4 years behind my brothers and sisters. So we were never in the same activities. But I always thought that if we were, that would just make it so much more interesting. You could brainstorm, have ideas, you know, all of that kind of stuff. Talk to me. You're sitting there so quiet. Tell me something else that you've been doing.
You're teaching us so much about grants, and I'm taking notes in my head.
Yeah. Well, I can just go forever and ever. And I have to watch myself, because though it's my show, I want to make sure that my guests get some time in. But another reason why I kind of use it as a teaching moment is so often, you know how when you're watching a show, it could be any show, and there's a nonprofit on the air, and you don't know how they got there. You don't know how to get it funded. So when someone else is watching you and they hear what you're doing, they have no idea how to move it forward. How do I get it funded? What do you call that? And so that's why I try and teach as I go and interview also. So
here's an interesting one, maybe in that vein. We are just exploring the possibility of building a coffee shop, which there's high demand for kind of in our area. It's just a coffee drinking culture, and people enjoy that. A nonprofit coffee shop on our property, because we have space for it. We think it would be something that would be a blessing to the community to bring people together. A space just of relationship building and all the good things that can happen, but also to support some of our community initiatives. So the profits would go directly towards some of these things that these guys and girls are talking about, but also some of our overseas relationships, maybe something like the organizations that we work with here. So lots of possibilities, but we're in the beginning stages of looking at how that would operate. So
yes. Well, again, there's our grant for that. We're developing a nonprofit right now, and they're going to be putting a coffee shop in a high school. And what else will that do? That's teaching inventory control, entrepreneurship, leadership skills, you know, and at the same time it funds the organization. So you're putting it on your property there at the church, or
Yes.
is it right?
maybe a separate facility, but on our property. We've got
Great.
a good amount of property that we've not developed yet, but it's good frontage. It's a good location. So I think there's opportunity there
Great,
for
great,
something like that.
great. Okay, are you going after any sponsors?
No, we haven't yet.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Well, there's
There's
Yes,
some.
sir.
They exist.
yes. There's a grant for that. The thing is that and if you make it even larger, where there's tables, do you know that there's funding for waiter waitress training programs? So you guys could be
So you
trained.
don't even have to pay anyone.
No. Do you know that Bon Jovi, he and his wife have a restaurant in his hometown? They took an old garage that was an automotive shop. It is now a restaurant, beautiful white tablecloths, waiters, when you get your meal, I mean, it's a gourmet restaurant. It's a nonprofit, and there's absolutely no prices on the menu. And they even have a community garden out front. And so, again, what does a nonprofit look like? And so where there's such a misconception, the nonprofit arena, and when you think of nonprofit, it doesn't have to look like a soup kitchen. It doesn't have to be that you're just on the street giving out clothes. The charity and nonprofit is you can make revenue. You have to make revenue in order for the organization to survive. The charity is who receives what you do, okay? So there's a misconception. It's all of the work that you guys are doing. That's what makes it a nonprofit and a charity. But when you hear the word nonprofit, you just think you can't make a profit. If you guys are downtown, you've probably seen that huge building, and it's called Homeboy Industries. Have you guys seen that building yet?
I've seen it before.
I think it's on, honey, crew, what street is Homeboy Industries? Do you know?
It's on
Like 7th and
Street. No, it's on Alameda and North Main Street.
Alameda and North Main, something like that. Well, it started out, Father Boyle started out with young people, young men that were getting out of prison, and they were working at at the bakery. Well, it ended up burning, and now they have like a 3-story building, you guys. It has a cafe in there. They sell product online. They even now make salsa and chips, and it's in the grocery stores. So people think that nonprofit cannot sell product, and that's not true. So you guys could have all kinds of product as long as the dollars keep coming back in to support the organization, paying salaries. You could even have 401k plans. I mean, there's so much funding that goes back every year just because people don't know it's there. And again, you have an idea of things that you can and can't do when it's really very broad because of what you're producing. I mean, look at these young people that continue to come every year. You guys are doing a whole lot right, okay? And so there's major funding, and you got to get busy and go get it so you can do more of what you're doing. Come to LA 4 times a year instead of
There
once
you
a
go.
year.
Yeah.
You know, and so now there's how many are part of your program as far as adults to run the program? About how many? Because it must take quite a few to run something of this
We have
magnitude.
13 with us here, but
There's two staff that are basically full time, and then Eric mentioned 5 and 6 interns that are typically returning students.
Okay.
They work part time, typically during college. Adults, between
there's probably another 20 volunteers
Yeah.
that are there on a regular basis that
Okay.
we have.
that are
And then you
consistent.
guys brought a huge,
Consistent.
can you bring up the picture that I sent you in the email? Is that too much of a problem? You guys brought a huge group with you. How many kids came?
There's 50 teens with us, and
Wow.
there's 63 of us total. So 13
Wow,
adults.
excellent. And then I saw pictures on your Facebook. You're on a bus and you're headed to church. Where did you guys go? What church?
We went to Hope International. It's over on Fountain and
something in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah, that's Hollywood.
Yeah, it's Hope Hollywood Church. So we've been working with them the last 3 years, I think. We kind of ran into them by accident. We were in one of the groups that we work with. Typically, they said, "Oh, you guys need to meet Pastor Ed at Hope Hollywood." So we started going there, and they do some interesting things there as far as how they minister. But they end up collecting food from Trader Joe's and others that's about to be discarded, and so they feed. How many meals? You guys have been there. I haven't been able to go this year, but y'all are in the other group that didn't get to go there.
I'm going there tomorrow.
Oh, you go. Okay.
Okay. When are you guys leaving?
We leave Saturday morning early. On Friday, we're going to go have fun and just hang out
Oh, okay.
for a little while at the beach and rest and that sort of thing. But we do 4 days solid. But one group's been at Hope Hollywood every day. And
Okay.
so they're remodeling their church, so we're painting the outside of the building.
Wow.
And doing some work there. And every day they do 2 times a day at I think it's at 10 o'clock. They feed breakfast in the morning to just the community, and it's not just people who are homeless. It's people who are working and trying to make ends
Wow.
meet. And so some of them are working, but trying to make ends meet, and some are homeless, and some are just community members who love being around Hope. So it's not just people who are homeless or even have a need for food, but just enjoy the community there. They try to build community there.
To give you an idea of scale, they give out 800 to 1,000 loaves of bread each morning
Wow.
that are donated from 7 Trader Joe's from around the city.
Oh
So
my gosh.
it's a-
So then the group that's there working with them, that's choice. That's by choice for them to be there every day. So you have some that's what
Well,
they're-
we rotate our group. We have 60, about 60 plus. So our groups kind of divide up. And so one day we get to spend the day with Crucial on Skid Row and learning about the community there. And we're not feeding anybody there, but learning about the culture that
and dealing with
exists on
that
Skid Row.
population because it's a special skill set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so, and meeting people on a different level, which is interesting because when we walk through, no one would. I mean, not that people wouldn't talk to you, but you wouldn't have the same kind of conversation. But when we actually found each other, I think would be a fair way to say that. But through Secret Millionaire,
Oh, yeah.
we just happened. It was kind of one of those God things where we found OG and Crucial on there and tried to contact, and Crucial actually contacted me back pretty quickly. And so we started talking before and realized it would be a good fit for us to kind of experience Skid Row at a different level. So instead of just walking through, actually meeting people and talking to people.
Okay. Okay. So then, before you guys come, you already kind of have an outline of what organizations you're going to work with, and you already kind of know what projects you're going to do before you come.
Yes.
Well, that's good. That's good. Are you looking for any other organizations that you might want to collaborate with?
Always.
Yeah, we're
I
always
think
looking,
that's
yeah.
always part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, and you guys usually come about the same time every year. Okay, so for my audience, if you would like to get involved with this church, or even maybe start doing some Skyping and webinars to work with this wonderful group, then you want to send it. Where can they email?
They could send it to, and it's probably on what you're putting up there, but it could go, I guess, to my email address. It would be eopton@montereycoc.org.
Opton,
OPTON
OPTON, so EOPTON,
at MontereyCoc.org.
MontereyCoc.org. Okay.
That's a
And-
long one, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay, and I put you on the spot just asking that. But
Yeah.
there may be some organizations there that they will if they're not on now, they'll see the recording and would like to get involved more, and so that we want to make sure that we have all the information there. So you come for what, a week?
A week, and we end up working with Hope International and Union Rescue Mission. These guys, actually, everyone on that side of the table has been doing VBS this week on the roof at Union Rescue Mission. How many kids have y'all had this week? About?
We've averaged about 20 to 22
Really?
on that number.
Wow. Okay.
And those are kids who live right now at the mission.
And all
with moms, so-
ethnicities?
Yes, I haven't been over this week, but it's all ethnicities.
We have had just about all of ethnicities.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. Well, again, there's a grant for that.
Yeah.
You guys, there's so much money, just cultural awareness and race relations. Okay? And when, again, in a Google search, I'm just typing in grants, cultural, and race relations. There's so much funding. You guys are doing so much that it would give you dollars for them to now get scholarships by being in the program because of what you've involved them with. The hours that you're putting in, if you're showing that as the in-kind hours that you're doing, it's all fundable. And so I don't shut up about this because you would be amazed at the millions in funding that goes back every year. Just because people don't know that those kinds of dollars are available also. And then what it does is I don't know if you guys are doing it now, but it's encouraged to start a donor program so that young people that have gone through your program and now they're going on to be in nursing and lawyers and all of that, they become your long-term donors because they will give back to your program. That's why J-Lo and Denzel, they are helping to build new Boys and Girls Clubs and all of that. But so many of our nonprofits are not developing the same kind of system. And so a lot of the people that have gone through the programs end up giving somewhere else because they don't see that there's a vessel for them to feed their dollars back into. And so one of the things that grant funders are liking to see is that small organizations are developing endowment programs and major gifts that allows individuals that have been a part of your program to continually become those lifetime donors. Because you guys are loving it so much, if you're doing great in your careers, wouldn't you want to give back to the program? And so I don't know if you guys have that already set up, but you may want to consider setting up a donor program. One of the best that I've seen, and thank God that I got my knowledge and my start in the nonprofit arena through the YMCA. And that's why they have been around for so long. They have one of the best major gifts program. They create opportunities for people that have gone through their facilities to become those lifetime donors. But a lot of times you're just busy in what you do and don't think about creating those vessels for multiple revenue streams. Okay? So, am I saying too much?
Yeah.
So, now as far as, are you already giving scholarships for young people to go to school?
We have a small endowment that provides usually a couple of scholarships per year out of our seniors who can apply for that. And that was actually set up by an anonymous donor at our church who said, I want to do this. And so we do that. That's the only scholarship fund we have right now. We do that typically.
And that's another thing to think about. There are a lot of donors, like when Crew was at the YMCA, we had a member there, and he's going to know this when I start talking about it. But he was a volunteer, he was a senior, but he swam at the Y every morning, and he would get upset that sometimes when he came there, that the staff wasn't there to open up yet. Well, Miss Herring, I think that we just need somebody else. So we started letting him volunteer at the front desk, and I'm talking about Mr. Haynes. And you know how when you go into a building, the desk is high, so when you're standing there, you can rest your elbows. Well, Mr. Haynes was a very dark man, and he was bald-headed. And what I didn't know at first is the young kids called him Milk Dud. Because when he sat there at the desk, it looked like his head was sitting there and he looked like a milk dud. And there's Milk Dud. No, pull your pants up. You know, you guys, because he would get on, boy, you know you got your pants too low. Pull them pants up and yada, yada. And so he was just that steadfast person at the YMCA. And I'm telling you this story because oftentimes we don't know who we're dealing with, right? When Mr. Haynes didn't have kids, we had no idea what he used to do prior to coming and now retired and being that volunteer at the Y. When he died, Mr. Haynes endowed to that YMCA. We had no idea that he had been the owner of 4 funeral homes. Where was his money going to go? And so you being involved in the church, you have people at your church that would set up endowments that could start to give dollars to you now, so that they would be making have major tax benefits for doing it. But it would create also additional revenue streams while they're living, and then when they pass away, then major funding for your programs. So you may want to consider setting up endowment programs because people won't mention it because many times they don't know how to do it. But if you make it available, then you've got individuals at your church and they see the results of what you're doing and they could be giving major to your programs. Okay? Anything else? We've got about 15 minutes, and is there something that you would like our listeners to listen to? Ah, there it is, the picture. Now, and also laying there on the floor, that's Crew, my son on the left, and then right, is that, that's not you? Look, I can't even see.
That's 2 years ago. That's a picture from,
but that's Love Nail Tree, right?
Yeah, we haven't taken a group picture yet
this
year with everyone, so that's, it's like 2 years ago when we had VBL. Well, actually, that's last year.
Is that you in the red hat? I'm trying to see because my eyes are so bad.
No, I think I took the picture.
You think you took the picture? And so these kids, most of these kids still are between like freshmen in high school and seniors?
Yes.
And this is the size group that you bring every time?
Yeah, about that.
Wow. And so when they're getting ready to come to the program, about how long before you come do you start raising dollars for young people to come? Because I want a young person, if they're thinking about doing something like this, they may be thinking it's going to take me 2-3 years to do a trip like this. When do you guys start saving and preparing for you to be a part of this trip as young people?
Usually it's pretty early before the summer starts because we've got a couple trips that we do during the summer, and me and him personally had started a mowing business to where we mowed lawns to be able to fund our trips during the summer. And then, you know, with our stocks, that helps out with funding a lot of the trips. And we also go around to each of our adult classes in the Sunday mornings and see if anyone there wants to donate stock. And a lot of times they're incredibly generous in what they give, and they see the kids and are totally willing to donate to what we're coming to do.
Okay.
And you know, a lot of money just comes from donations from people in the community.
Wow, wow. Again, you know, my mind just starts going, right? With them mowing, and let's say that every summer, because you know that's going to start.
Can you get a grant for mowing?
Yes.
I just want to know.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Because think of all the seniors and those that are disabled that have lawns but can't mow their own lawn. So your program, that could just be a part of your program. They know that it's the mowing business under the program, and funding would cover it, but also cover their, bless you, would cover them coming to the program, but you're cutting the grass of individuals that can't cut their own grass.
You get a lawnmower donated to you.
Many lawnmowers, like from Lowe's, Home Depot, John Deere, you know, they could become your major sponsors. Yeah, yeah. You guys, there's so many opportunities. Do you know that there's even grants for dog walking?
Wow. No.
Yeah. Think about it. Think how many.
Have a different career idea now. Just
there isn't anything that you can't get a grant for. You guys, think of how many people have service dogs, or seniors that have dogs, and it helps them as far as their loneliness and depression, but because of their inability, they can't get out and walk their own dog.
Do you guys want to know why? Do you actually want to know why there isn't anything that you cannot get grant dollars for? Because there's nothing that God's not in.
Nothing.
So
Nothing.
if it's nice and you're giving back and you're living and you're doing what you're supposed to do and just giving, there's non-stop of what you're going to get.
Yes. Yes.
That's why it's a grant for everything. Because why? Because God's in everything.
He's in everything. And the thing is that all grants do, you've got individuals here that can do whatever the business is doing or whatever. And you have individuals here that want to do it, but they can't because maybe they're financially challenged, disabled, or whatever. Grants just even the playing field. So it doesn't matter what you're doing, you're just evening the playing field so that everyone can do it. That's why Firefox, Mozilla, any of you use it? Did you know it's a nonprofit? I mean, there's so much of what you use every day that you don't know it's a nonprofit. So that's why I said it's not what you do, it's who receives what you do that make it possible, okay? And so, again, there's a guy that's making over 6 figures annually poop scooping.
Wow.
Poop scooping. Literally. Because
that really wasn't the career I was thinking about when I said that.
Well, the thing is that you know, going back to when Crew was saying about God is in it. If something is your passion, please hear that. If something is your passion, if you eat, sleep, and drink it, if every day when you wake up, you could be watching a movie and it could be a love scene, but a bird goes by, and because you love birds, you're like, did you see that bird? And everybody else is like, what bird? Because when something's your passion, you connect to it, whatever it is. And there's no way that God gave you a passion that you can't survive off of it. He would not have done it. He would not have given you something that you love so much that you think about all the time. And if you could do it, if you could get paid to do this every day, this is what you would do. He would not have given you that if you could not survive off of it. And what I want to do is show you how whatever it is that you love, whatever is your passion, there's profit for it. If you're making a difference. Even if you're a bus driver. You guys, if you have one bus driver and he's driving a bus every day, you know he gets to hear and the same individuals get on the bus same time every day, so they get to know him. But this bus driver sees Mr. Jones back there asleep, and he knows he's at Mr. Jones's stop. And he hits the gas, boom, and goes right on past. He's not in his passion. But you have another bus driver, and he sees Mr. Jones, and he says, can somebody wake up Mr. Jones, let him know that I'm pulling up on his stop? That's the same bus driver that's going to speak to everybody. That's the same one that's in it because he loves it. Anything that you do in life is designed to help somebody. I don't care what it is. If you're in your passion is when you feel it and when it shows. When you're not in your passion, that's when you need to find something else. Because I don't care what it is that you're doing in life, whatever it is, you're still helping someone, and that's how we're designed. Okay? But there's always someone that doesn't have the ability to do it, and that's where grants come in. Okay? Anything else, you guys? Well, then, if you don't have anything else right now, I'm going to talk about my sponsor just one more time, because you guys would not be here if it wasn't for having this wonderful pit bull. And pit bull is by Roscoe's and Mr. Herb Hudson, who, have you guys had Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles?
I have.
Yeah, because when you come to LA, you've got to have Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. It's right down the street, and he also owns Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. But he makes this possible for us to, whatever you're doing in community, whatever you're doing in your business, he has made this station possible so that more people can hear what's going on, but you can also publicize what it is that you're doing. Did you know that you can have your own radio station back at home? There's a grant for that. It really is. Because not only are you exposing individuals to information that they need, teaching young people how to run the station, teaching young people editing, you know, there's so much funding for that. My church, my pastor didn't believe it. We had empty rooms upstairs full of old pews and all of that. You should see it now. Even Crew has done recording in there. State-of-the-art studio. They're doing green screen, collaborating with the local high school, teaching how to run the facility. It's all through funding. All of it. Does your church record? Does it record the service?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But they're paying individuals to do that, right? Or they might be volunteering. Do you know it could be a program that's totally funded by grants? Because they're teaching a skill set that would take individuals out into that industry. It's fundable, and it could be a program with what you guys are doing. So, what is your website so they can go and see all the wonderful things that you guys are doing?
Do the big one.
MontereyChurch.com.
MontereyChurch.com.
Yeah. That'll lead you to our team ministry site, which is a different site.
Yes. What besides going to the beach on Friday?
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the other things you're going to do before you get out of here on
Saturday morning?
Saturday morning.
Well, in about an hour, we're going to go sing karaoke on Skid Row with Central City Community Outreach.
Really?
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm excited about that.
Yes.
And going to go eat some pizza and hang out with people and watch people be silly.
Well, outstanding. Well, you've got a lot of people down there that are artists, musical artists. I mean, and I know that they enjoy it. I've attended a lot of the things down there at Gladys Park, and people are just always really grateful that you come there. We've got the website up, and so this is your teen website here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
If you'll look right, keep going up. There. Wait, go down just a little bit. There you go. There's Crew.
There's Crew with his arms up, isn't it?
He's under the
Kingdom, goal.
The D on the Kingdom. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's our group from, I think that was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years too.
And that's at Gladys Park?
Yeah, that's Gladys Park.
Yeah. I'm really proud of you guys. I mean, consistently bringing the groups and then hearing just the young people talking about how excited they are about the program. Because see, so often people can only look at materials and read what someone has written about a program. But you guys are producing, and you've got the voices here that are talking about it, but they're showing up. Can't wait to come, and it's not coming to just hanging out on the beach for the entire week you're coming. They're actually putting in the work, making a difference.
I think part of it for these guys probably, and I don't know how y'all would answer this, but when you go back, people ask, so what'd you do when you were in LA? And they expect you to talk about Universal Studios or those things is the fun part. But then you try to describe it, and you can't describe what it looks like to go through and actually meet people and talk to them. There's something about purpose in life that's different than going and just having fun, but it brings more joy than just laughing. But it's experiences with people. And so, do you guys have trouble when you go home? Like people say, "What'd you do?" And you're like, "Well," and you try to describe it. Does that happen to you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
You probably just want to say, you would have had to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, but you were going to say something. Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, I was just gonna say, when people ask like what the best part of the trip was, we normally don't mention stuff like fun activities that we do like on the beach. We normally talk about like our experience or just hanging out with the kids and stuff like that. Normally that's like the best part of the trip, not like the fun stuff or whatever. So
yeah, or what they would see as the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the reason for that kind of goes back to these two, but ultimately like God is both Eric and Aaron have both always just really put it on our hearts that we need to be focusing on making a relationship with the people we meet and not so much, I don't know, just the cover stuff, but like really digging down deep and like trying to get to know the people that we're getting involved with and just kind of get to know them on a deeper level. And I think that's one of the reasons that you can't explain the feeling that comes with that, but there is something, like there is a connection that God puts in between all these people and like the group of people that we come with, and it's just, it's amazing, like it really is.
Right, and they'll remember it.
Oh, they remember it. They ask about them.
Yes.
They ask about them throughout the year. You know, the thing about it is to see them come down, and like you said, for the summer, that they're not coming for the fun activities, but they're coming to reach out and to show the love. For it to be culturally, for anyone, when you run into certain people that have run into a situation, they handle it well. I think, you know, because it's been a couple situations where when we'll go somewhere and people don't even want them there, and even if I can speak for it, they have a problem with me being there.
Yes.
Because I'm not there every day.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But the way to see them handle it and still go about their days and still pushing the way they do, because at the same time, I talk to them about different things. I really speak to them about the social justice part and about why the genocide is going on in the area of where we're at. But at the same time, how people going through it, they're just on this world. A lot of them are in that position in there because they're not of it. So they're more so just waiting for the end.
Yeah.
Because they understand the hierarchy is making them there. You know what I mean? They're suppressing and making the situation worse than what it is.
So oftentimes, like when you're down on Skid Row, sometimes they'll want to be a little closed off, or why are you here, and not wanting to talk to you. But because they see you there, you're not there just that day, that particular day. You're there even if it's just for the week, and you're not down there with a camera trying to follow their life. Eventually they probably start to soften up, or they see who's talking to you, and that also helps, right? But we are talking about too a community. See, a lot of people don't see Skid Row and people that are homeless as having a community, but they do. They know each other. They know where their local store is. They know if they want something, that they know who to go to. And if someone steps into that, that can be a little uncomfortable for people. And so that's where he's saying that you guys handle it well when you run into something like that.
Well, that's what I meant.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because like just the other day we had a altercation where a person didn't like the fact that we were standing near their things. But he's next to a business that I work with, and where I'm painting the mural that they're going to start to paint the mural at for the Justice or Else 10/10, March. So it's and he really didn't have any reason. Well, I guess he had a reason to say something if, just to let us know we were near his things. But he's telling us don't stand on it, and no one's standing on it. Period. We're not even, rumbling through it or doing anything, but his whole thing was to make the mark and let us know that
you're in my space.
Area,
yeah, you're in my personal space.
This is his area.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I see him today, and I go and I apologize to him. I say, I apologize for coming at you aggressively. But at the same time, they're with me. And they're my family here, so I have to let them know that I am going to protect them. Yeah. And he apologized also, and I told Aaron today that he did apologize because he said, he was wrong a little. But, at the moment, he just, he told me, you didn't remember me, and it was like, no, that was the fact I didn't remember you. Obviously, you didn't remember who I was because you were just yelling at them like if they were going to do something wrong to your stuff, but you supposedly know who I am. Right. So it works out.
Well, I just realized we are at the top of the hour. And I want to thank all of you guys for being here, Eric and Aaron, right? And I'm sorry I don't remember all of you guys' name, but I want to thank all of you for what you're doing, coming and spending this time and not just hanging out at the beach, but coming in and making a difference in someone's lives. I thank you all also for what you're doing back in Lubbock, Texas, because this isn't just a one-week event for you. this is what you do, and I'm proud of all of you for doing that, especially being young people, and you guys for being with this program, because these young people wouldn't have this outlet if it weren't for you and what you guys are doing there. So again, your website is at the church?
MontereyChurch.com.
MontereyChurch.com. And for you guys that want to know more about what they're doing, go to their website, and then also tune in, because I'll keep you guys abreast of what they're doing. We may even Skype you guys in. I would love that. You can Skype in and still be a part of the show, and they would see you on the air, because I'd like to see what you guys are doing. Again, this is Sharita J with Drive Time here in LA, and we've got the kids and the adults from the Monterey Church. We have Crucial, who is my son, but also working in community, and my 2 grandkids that you guys just haven't seen. But thank you for tuning in and seeing us today. Sharita J, Drive Time. Join us next Wednesday. Have a good week.
Hit it. Oh, how you feel, brother?
Feeling good.
You feel good?
Feeling good. Improving.
Ain't so much bone, brother. How you feel, man?
I feel all right.
I call your name. I don't want no people to know you're in here. How you feel, fella? Hey, yeah. Sure getting down. Gotta take you higher. Ow. All right. You want to do it again? You want to do it again, huh?
Yeah, let's do one more time.
Gotta take you higher.
Power Lunch with Sharita J. If we could get more people to collaborate with our nonprofits, we could be bringing a lot more programs back to our schools, because there's grants where there's been a music program or an arts program or fine language program cut. There's grants where individuals could bring those programs into the schools and collaborate. So that's why I never shut up about this. C360. That stands for Collaborative 360, and that's where we've launched a program where we are identifying the grant funders and writing the grants for our affiliates. That could even be you if you're not already a part of C360. And you know, Kim, again, I'm always touching on where there's grants. Even when you're doing your show, because you're touching on self-esteem, leadership skills, fighting obesity or whatever, you could be taking that into schools, and grants could cover it when you do that. There's a picture with you with Oprah. You did something on the O Network.
I did a game show on the Oprah Winfrey Network. I was a co-host of a show called Are You Normal America? And by the way, we are not normal.
You got that entire experience. I mean, how many people can say that?
It was great, and you can feel her energy. She has a power, a beautiful, quiet power that is actually, you know, rooted in this and how much she gives. It helps people to live again, hope again, and dream again.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that. Thank you, Jean.
Speak myself and Rita here. You want to get your charity to full tank? Man, does this woman deliver. She gets your charity to full tank.
Wow. Wow. Okay. I always talk to people about operating in their passion, and if you're in your passion every day, how much more rewarding that's going to be, and easier for you to wake up even on days when it's not easy. Again, this is Sharita J, and I am happy to be bringing you our show.